Greetings, Langarinos. I'm Peter,
I'm Tyler.
and we're back for another installment of Ganonga, also called Kumbokota, which I've seen on the internet used a bit more often for the language, so that must be the name the community uses. We're using the term Ganonga because that's what it has on the book we're using, but I'm pretty sure that it's the same language as Kumbokota, um, from the island of Ranonga, which also has another language called Lunga. So all right, we will continue with Ganonga. All right, so where we left off, we had basically just finished putting together all of the all of the sentences with their translations, and now we're kind of still figuring out some of the words, so we can see a little bit
Yep,
of both as
we'll
we
be
go.
in that phase for a while yet.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
so what I've been observing there is that you often will have one thing that looks like a determiner at the beginning of a noun phrase, and then maybe another one at the end of the noun phrase. Seems to, and it will often be the same little syllable there. Yeah,
See if we can find an example. Now, this knee, I think we know what knee is now, right?
Savannah, where did you find it?
In third paragraph, sentence four, or well, according to Flex, sentence four, probably not four in our text, but third
Line,
paragraph.
line four or something.
So we get this knee all over the place. If we look for it right quick in our, I guess I don't need to make it full screen.
Mm-mm.
If we look for knee, we see it. What I want it, although it doesn't always occur by itself, sometimes it is attached, but we're going to start by looking at it when it occurs by itself.
That one.
Tekuni. Now, I think it probably really is a suffix by the way it's attached to everything else.
Hmm.
Let's look right quick. There we have tekuni again, take it. There we have tekuni again. So usually when it's spelled by itself, that's
It.
with it. Then we have Kenny, Kenny, Iliganigani, which we don't think Ganigani is. We don't think the ni from Gani is an it.
That would take some convincing to persuade me of that.
There's Geguni, he ate the leg. Geguni, Gani tu Karusu,
And
Geguni.
then part of the eating root there.
Yeah, it's part of it. I believe when we got it with talking,
Oh, but it has no,
Dagwa.
and that yeah.
Are you talking about this one? Looks like it was a they're part of the word Gani and then part of the word giant. So that's why I'm
No, no. Line 4 2 there in the spreadsheet that you're just looking at. I dismissed it because I thought it was about the Rani, but we have there Ngeguni, the last word. Line 14 of the spreadsheet there, the top one in your display.
yeah, that's what I
That
said originally.
okay.
But Yegu is some sort of food or possessive classifier or something. So it probably is acting like it there, but it's not our clearest example.
Yeah, okay.
I
Like
actually think the pollen D, the D there is the knee, but the plural version. I think we just started discussing that last time. Blah, 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 blah. So not in this one either. So that's the Keni. Here we have Garatani, right? So
him.
when we look at Garat, which we've already solved, I believe, as bite,
Right, or nipping with claws, yeah. Something
here
threatening
we
to
have
break in.
Garatigo, nip you, and then we get Garatani. So um, the Garat, the I is probably the echo vowel there, and ni is some sort of third singular object. But we also have ia. So what we don't know is when we use ia,
Mm.
we use ni. Uh, I I propose that for now we go ahead and gloss ni as third singular object.
Does it ever have a human or like animate reference, or is it always an it that is not alive?
Right there, and so they bit him.
Bit him. Silly me.
Yeah. So all it should be, and so it bit him because you can see the za right there is a third singular subject. We've already proposed that. So um, that's what I think for ni. But with ni by itself there, I think it looks like it typically attaches like it does there in garatani. So I don't know all what to do with that. There we have dogoria. So whatever is, that's what I'm guessing this ia is the other third singular object. I'm going to go ahead and gloss ni as,
3SG object.
shall we go ahead and make it a suffix?
I wouldn't.
Let's be
I would let's. I would create just the entry for it as an independent word. Maybe you could link the suffix form to it. There's other ways to do it. Let's use
yeah,
caps for this.
yeah, that's what I started believing.
So an ia object.
Leave a lot of things not sure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and link them with a little chain.
Find it here.
I think Teku is
Or
take.
take, yeah. Get, find, take. I could see those all being one verb root.
Take it.
Plausible to me. Where'd you take it? Yeah. Pi is where, and then Viveina.
Yeah, so if we leave it on its
Check
own,
up
yeah.
3 hits for something like that. Where did you find it? Where did you take it from? Could be the word for where we took this fish. All right. The 3 instances of this Viveina.
We use capture. That's what we used for it because it gives us both find and take.
A good choice, I think. Pi, okay, Viveina occurs 3 times, always with pi.
Let's see, Vevena.
Mm-hmm. If you just search VEVE, it's enough to get it.
A ve doesn't give us anything extra. If I search just ve, it gives us 6. Because I assume na is a suffix there, and ve looks like a reduplication. Pi vevena gamu tekine. What do we think vevenu means there? It always occurs with that, huh?
With that morphology, it looks like a verb, but
Here we have ve bazadai nana teku. It comes again with teku. Pi veveno game with tekina. What? Vevena might be place or something.
okay, yeah, all right. Could be an article after it too.
I think
Yeah,
pi is where. Did we already?
we identified it. It's in, yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So here we get veni in a different
Ah,
context.
got the body part in that one. 73.
Yeah. Pushed his feet to stand up.
Puza Ninja pushed with his feet, tried to stand up.
I do not know. Gonna have to leave they for now until we figure out more words, I think.
You know what? 3-5 there. That word Zarua, I think it actually has 3 parts. Let's go to the analysis of that one real quick.
3-5.
Yeah, the analysis. Analyze tab. No, 3-5 inflex.
Oh, the Zagwa. I'm already on.
Exactly. We have it in there as 2 parts, but I think we should cut it into 3.
You think why is
I think Ru, because we have Zaru. We have other forms with Ru. With other. Let me just make sure of that. Not tell anything wrong. Runi. They said to him Runi without the ah.
yeah, let's look for Huni real quick and fill in that. That's what I was saying with the knee business in general. That Gariguni, so that's a pretty good example there. That's in paragraph 11. that, and then we'll come back up and segment Zagua. You know
Excellent.
this is how this works. Although we
So
would also spec Ia to do the same thing, but have we not entered at all?
here, what we can show is that once you've identified something in the lexicon, you can edit that lexicon entry. You don't have to keep if you decide you had it wrong before, you can just change it. You're not wedded to it forever, is the good news. Ngari, that's very nice. Ngari, which itself we think has two parts. Now, yeah, but watch. We could just break it down into three words and say it's just spelled together here, but Ngari is a word, Ni is a word. So we need to click the triangle below Ru, if you would.
Use this for say.
Yeah. Don't create new though. Say no. Don't create a new one. Actually, click that. There it is. That's a good thing. You have to double click it, I think. That entry, and now control click that entry if you would. The purple text there. Control click that. We jump to the lexicon. So now in this lexicon, we're going to have an allomorph, and you can say, go down a little bit, allomorph who. Been many years since I did this, but you can tell the lexicon you want that to be the entry form. Yeah. Swap with lexeme form. That's the one. And now the entry is who. We did it without having to alter anything. What we can do now is delete that allomorph, since we think that's really two parts and not a single piece.
The menu here is giving me delete.
There it is. The second arrow.
Yeah.
It'll warn you. You've used it 3 times, but that's okay. Not catastrophic.
All right.
Now it looks more the way we want it.
Luckily have a gua right here, so I'll just.
Okay, here's my suspicion: is that a suffix is an allomorph of za. We've seen other candidates where a z might get deleted between vowels.
You think a is allomorph of za?
I'm not convinced. Just putting it out there as an option.
Extreme level disagree. We already know that ia shortens to a after high vowels.
Okay. Doesn't mean they could not coincide. They could not converge there.
Furthermore, we've got a za at the beginning. It's zagua.
Yeah, we have at the beginning of a syllable. At the beginning of a word is a very different environment from z between vowels.
We've seen ziu, so we know that z doesn't delete in between vowels.
I'm not saying it has to. I'm saying it can. Because look, we had that azai, and we thought maybe I is a unvariant form of that. That would be my parallel.
Azai was a variant form of what?
I was a variant of azai. Was a suspicion we had. I just want to note it. I'm glad you disagree. I think when we disagree, that's going to be the most fruitful path for us to investigate.
It's already solved though. Look at how good that is. And I also think that
what we could do is just go through and look at all the Ru forms. This is going to be probably the most frequent verb, and so we can collect morphology here.
Let's look at gu right quick. All right, so there we get zagua.
34 hits.
There's a lot of gu, so there's guni.
Yeah.
Geguni. That's from Tugu.
Said. It could be a grammatical use of this say root. Having said that,
we see that tu is already some sort of perfect meaning.
Exactly. But it would go after the. Who knows?
I'm very hesitant on that. It goes against my instincts, but
all right.
Again, many things in Ganonga have gone against my instincts so far, so there's no reason for me to be so certain. There we have Yanghu, which we have like something to do with food.
Right. It's just 2 segments that's going to occur in other words too.
Yeah, that's right. Zagua.
Where we have.
I can't think of any reason to think why there would be a Z deleting in there. I do think I might be a shortening of Azai, but we don't actually know if that's deleting the Z intervocalically or just deleting the first two segments and keeping the last two segments, which are also I.
That's true.
And I don't think Azai is like a form or function word. I think it's a discourse particle. So I think it's going to go in a different slot than agreement. We have seen already, although I can't find, there we have Garigua.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Zagua, Gemu. Um, this is
Move.
Nyorogua. Gosh, if you want some, go find your own. I think that's Norogu with an A. Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is hard to argue that the Z does sometimes delete intervocalically with the Azai example, but I don't think that's a really good reason for us to
Yeah, yeah. All right.
think that's what's going on here, especially because we've
Hold on.
already seen this IA activity.
So let's do this in, yeah, let's have Flex reflect our new understanding of this verbal behavior. So if Za is really third singular, he said to him. He said it. Oh, right. Okay, there's two things for the verb
Okay,
agree with object wise, the
we
quote
might.
itself and also the addressee.
Yeah, they said to him. He said it. Look, and the translation here is he said. So I bet that this, when it's Oz, he said it, and Guni is said to him, and that the ni
One
is like dative-ish.
in 11.2, that word where your cursor is, let's create one for Ngadi. Or we could break it down every time we see it, but to me, it looks frequent enough that it's going to be worthwhile to create it. Okay. Q as an allomorph of Nge.
I mean, do we think that's what's going on?
I do, but we could, since Ngadi is frequent by itself, you can create an entry for Ngadi and then in the lexicon break it down there.
Can we do that? Let's check it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did it.
Even if we don't like this, it's a really useful thing to show. So we're going to call this 3PL subject, right?
Yes. Means they.
Some sort of pro form, certainly, even if it's attaching. Actually, let's leave it not sure. Not that important.
So then,
control
just
click takes us to the entry.
scroll to the entry.
All right. That is not a function I had been using before.
Now, what can we do? Again, it's been many, many years since I did it. But scroll down a little bit. Morph type. Oh, no, no. Okay. Here you're going to need to full screen flex so we can see the full thing. Yeah. Components there in that upper third there.
Yeah, I've clicked on it.
See that gray box on the right edge? Right edge of that line.
Goodness.
Click that. And type a Q. It'll show you Nge. And just say OK. And then it's going to say that's a component of this, and then Adi is another component. So just do the same procedure.
Won't let me see the. Oh, there we go.
You got to get that line, yeah. Adi plural.
This is a fun way to do it. Now
Yeah.
look at that.
I was really pleased when I discovered or learned that it does this, because then we go to complex form type, line above. We could just say it's a comp. I forget what the options are there, and we can edit the list that it gives us. It looks like contraction might be a good label for it. Yeah, and then yep. So that's a really nice feature of the lexicon because you don't want to always break it down into every single meaningful part, but group them together as words which are complex.
Technically, it's a nice feature of the Flexicon.
So it is.
All right, let's go back and see how it looks in our Analyze tab.
Here in the word gloss line,
what?
Let's say they said to him, yeah, it's just thinking a minute. Instead of just say, they said to him is the free translation, and it matches the structure of the verb perfectly. What could be finer? To him. So ni, yeah, feels like a dative here.
Yeah, it's a dative-ish, right? So there are two types of third singular. objects, and it makes sense because there's two types of objects.
At least.
And the reality is that um so when we talk about two types of objects, typically what we're referring to is a direct object and an indirect object.
Let's keep going.
An indirect object is usually what something is given. That's the goal of a giving verb, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Things that are not third singular are typically not the direct object, the thing that is given, the theme, they would say. So I rarely give you to the shark or whatever, but I often give fish to you.
I appreciate that, by the way.
So, but it looks like that ni is for the indirect object. But I think the reason we're not seeing a bunch of splitting with the other types yet has to do with just the rarity of their situation doesn't call for two different things.
Yeah, that's something where elicitation would be your best bet to find those things. You'd have a native speaker, and you just ask them, how do you express this idea in your language?
You know, if we get far enough into this project, I will find a native speaker. I have many, many, many friends in the Western Solomons, and it is not.
But it's 1014 there. Yep, good.
Why is it giving us a 2 there? What's that mean?
That you have two word glosses stored for that one. If you just click the little select, the one in the middle, it tells you what it's got stored. Either this or this for that string of letters.
Should we be using she, he, said instead?
No, I don't see any reason to.
Okay.
Let's break it down. Break down the verb root the way we now think of it. Set. And what's the line above, real quick? Who's speaking to whom? My grandchildren. Yeah. So he's speaking to them. So the yeah probably indexes the quote. He said it.
He said it. I agree.
This is very nice.
He said it. All right. Pretty nice little all right. So here we have tekuni. All is one word, by the way.
Sure. And so we don't have to, I mean, we can preserve that in the baseline, but then if we just say that teku and ni are two separate words, Flex will know them.
I think we need to revise and say that ni is probably a suffix, and the other ones it's just written as a separate word. Because all the other agreements are clearly suffixes. They just are sometimes written as separate words. Ooh. And our evidence for this, by the way, is only occurs really when there's echo vowels.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if there was a separate word, then we'd get parogo ia instead of parogia.
Seems plausible to me.
So that's my take. Well, we got to go find the other ni right quick and fix it.
So just go to the lexicon here.
Yeah, I'm going to try our trick again.
An optional way to, we can say morph type, that second line, right below where your cursor is, say suffix there. Okay. Oh, just show all types there. See, there's two clickable boxes.
There we go.
There it is. Got to hunt a little bit. And now it knows it. Now, no. See how in the entries,
I did it twice. Yeah, I gotcha.
It automatically does it. It has its own generated little dash. Look at that. So it's a really convenient way. If you revise your analysis, Lex is pretty good about this kind of stuff. Is it a word that happens to be spelled solid with the preceding, or is it actually a suffix? Easy enough to go back and forth on it.
Let's search for tekuni to figure out where that was. One of one.
Okay. And then just need to show B this 10 somewhere. Oh, it's that line, 1013.
My grandchildren right there. Very nice. Captured before it.
Before you say?
What should the tekuni? Where did
you got it? You did get it or something. Or we could put, since it's in a question, we can use the English word order. Did you get it?
Yeah, there's the gamu, which is probably the.
If you want to link all that, yeah, you can.
No, I'd rather leave it separate so we can just see everything. We have a pretty good idea that this is part of the. whenever anybody's working in a flex file or any sort of analysis, there's a bunch of decisions you have to make about representations,
Mhm.
and you never get out free, meaning you have to remember how some stuff works as the designer of the description, regardless.
Mhm.
I'm just
Let's
going to
put
leave it for now.
let's put got it. Got that.
I'm going to say get that, just because that's
Right.
exactly the
Not 10.
translation.
Now, the following that kue, that ngua,
Wa,
ngua, that seems to be my. It seems to be the
I,
word meaning. Is that now?
some,
Is the a suffix or some other thing there?
I don't think so. I think you
All
hit
right.
on something that we aren't getting single
Single syllables for
syllable
that.
words that don't end in ah.
Wow. Well, we have those discoursey things, K exclamations and such. We have nge,
But it
phenomenal.
doesn't occur on its own. Oh wait,
Cool.
no, you're right, you're right.
Nge, we do.
You sure do. Hmm.
Ku a e u
Ngua,
ni. Ooh. Do we have ooh ending a word?
we do tugu things like that, but maybe not a single syllable word. In any
We
case, I think this is first singular possession.
works for me.
We can look at the more stuff and see. I believe that's going to be type of determiner.
3 hits for QUA space determiner. Yeah.
Or maybe it's some sort of particle.
Quick. What? My 3 grandchildren. That's that. My 3 grandchildren. Wait. What? Always in that phrase 3 times.
Um,
So Ranonga says 3 my grandchildren.
it is really interesting that the numerals go before that.
Let's put my in the word glass line there.
My. I do think that's the way. Did we
And then
ever
for
see?
let's wait the following word there. It's in the blue line. Let's make it say grandchildren, just to match the context. Okay, and let's approve 3. Quit.
Approved throughout?
Sure.
Although I think it may be already approved throughout.
Clearly, it was not.
Okay, we're gonna leave it as mine. Okay, Ura. Ura seems to be another discourse word. We see it a lot at the beginning.
I agree. 6 hits, but because and the result come tomorrow. If you add something like so, then
It's some sort of transition word. So Ganonga is rich in kind of discourse connecting particles, and it's going to be hard to figure out what the English equivalents for those are, if there are English equivalents, and under what conditions they're applied. So this is actually where foreigners often make pretty big mistakes when they start trying to say I want to take William Shakespeare and translate it into I won't take Shakespeare. I'll take a modern book everybody loves and is non-controversial, and I'm going to translate it into Ganonga because I said, you know what, I love this book so much and I love Ganonga so much. I would like people to be able to read my book, whatever. As an outsider, I'll start using Ura and Beto and Azai, and I won't hit it exactly correctly. It'll be weird. Now, even in English, there are things you could say, but nobody says it that way. So this is where, at a certain
mm.
point, we're going to need to talk with native speakers to try to figure out these differences, if it's
uh,
even possible for us as outsiders to ever figure it out.
that second word in 1013, ani, that looks to me like it might be one of those sort of determiner fusions, co-occurrences, but I don't know what it would be indexing there. It could just happen to look like that.
I think Ani, if anything, it's the now from So Now. Let's search for Ani right quick and see what we can get.
Good idea.
I'm going to search for it by itself because it's in
Yeah.
Ani.
Yeah.
So Uriani instead of Uraani. So that's kind of striking right there. Uriani.
That is very interesting.
Pekwa Zagwa Uriani. He thought is Zagwa? Now, this actually confirms a suspicion I had about Zagwa based on Robiana. Would you say so? Here's our sentence here. It's like take one, he thought, until bump. I wish we could make this part.
Until bump, yeah.
So bump is must be like a sound effect, I would imagine. I want it just
Bugala.
until bump, he hit the ground.
Peso. Peso. Piso.
Bump, he hit the ground. All right, so we got Bugala Peso 2. He hit the ground. Well, I think that this Zagwa isn't actually he said it. I think it's more similar to English reportative like. And he was like, so that's why you could use it for reported speech or internal speech. I was in the car and someone stopped quick and I was like, oh no, but I didn't actually say that. That's in my mind. So that's what I think. I want to leave the gloss as say for now. Because you can say stuff inside your mind, so it still works for us. Doesn't shed a lot of light on Ani, though. Let's see if we can find more about Ani. Then we have Lao Bati Azapana Lolu. Nambana.
Ureani, it's penultimate line. Uraani seems to co-occur.
Do we get Uraani?
Yeah, there's just two for Uraani. So I wonder if the correct ever.
Here we get Ani by itself, but with your I there. So ko Ani I.
Ko Ani I.
It's hard to think that Ani doesn't have something to do with discourse particle as well. Because there it's stacked with ko Ani I. Which we've decided ko and I are discourse particles. Excuse me. All right, let's leave Ani for now.
Yeah, let's go on and flex.
Let's go on and flex. We're kind of randomly in paragraph 11.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we'll pass through the story multiple times. The nature of the work. Va is interesting. There's heaps on the reef. Hey, man. Hey, fellow.
So, do we have any guesses on pa so far?
That
occurs 30 times by itself.
But a space out.
A tall tree, one there. Where the branch is dead, there's where you climb up.
18, where it ends a word. And 11 still, just pa on its own. I have not had any thoughts about pa.
Pa na kaina nasuvege.
But from the form of it, it might be something like a preposition.
That's my intuition.
Those two. So, what is a preposition for those watching? What is a preposition? Languages that have them, not all do. They are very frequent. English has on, in, at, with, without, and most of those are single syllables. They tend to be short words and frequent. Probably not an accident. And with a wide range of meanings. So our nouns and verbs, they tend to be 2 to 3 syllables here in Ranonga. And a preposition is going to form a phrase with a noun, maybe a pronoun, but itself will tend to be short, likely. So Hawaiian also, e and ma are prepositions, single syllables.
What does ma mean in Hawaiian?
All I know is that it has a locative sense, in, maybe in or on. Oh, look at that, pa and ma. Not sure what you're doing, but pa and ma might be ma and pa. A good cognates.
The first session, I believe, I said there seems to be some weird P and M stuff going on in Oceanic, and I can't always figure it out. Now, what is our clue that pa might be cognate with Hawaiian ma? Our clue is the question word pi, which is unambiguous.
Fantastic.
What do you think?
Great. there's also in Hawaiian pehea, meaning how, where hea is one pronoun or preposition, not sure, but pe is a prefix to it. Pepa also looked like a good, acceptable match to me as a non-specialist.
Well, here we have this sentence, Pai vevena gamuteki ni navape, where we took this fish, you will see those holes there by the edge of the stream. Pana, which I'm
Mm.
guessing is pana keketaina na pie. Na
And then
pie might
another
be
pa
this.
is there. Yeah.
One of these is the stream, one is the edge, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's it.
We already
Looks
have this idea. It says na.
plausible.
We already have the idea that this K means negative or something. Pabangu, about them. Pause. So I don't really know. Let's. Hey, man, there's heaps on the reef, but here we have Pamati Zarake.
Oh, good news. We have two hits for Mati.
Okay, what do you think Mati means? Let's check out Mati real quick.
Stream in one instance, looks like.
Here we have it with reef. So
Yeah.
Zake Mati, dry, but wasn't properly dry.
It could
We have
be
Leia
homophobe,
there.
but
Mati is something in Leia as well, so that does seem like the properly there.
Leia to be pleasing. Yeah. Definitely.
Zake doesn't seem he isn't. Mati would be dry though.
Great. Yeah, yeah. Zach. Interesting fusion. Four hits for Zake. Zake Leia. It was not good. Let's look for Zake. Yeah, let's nail down this Zake and other
Yeah, I
K's
think we
maybe.
have a better idea of the negation, what's going on. So
And let's once we get a
what's
handle on put it in flex.
what's your favorite example of Zake there? Where is it?
Well, I've got one in paragraph 12. It's line 75 in the spreadsheet. So if you just click through, it's the fourth hit. Urako Zake Leia. We know what Leia means. We have a good idea. To be
Pretty
good,
much
to
the
be
last
pleasing.
line of the story.
Yeah, yeah. Very last line. The result was not good. It not good. Works well if it's that's what it is, piece by piece.
You think it's
Zauke
Kozauke? No, here we have Zake right there.
killed. Zauke.
He was
Oh, uke, meaning be killed, to kill. Well, let's get the Zake part.
I'm looking for mate or
We
some.
also have we also have Keza. Same two pieces in the opposite order,
That's right.
potentially.
It also
Wow,
does seem to be.
how cool.
I don't know what it means, but
Be really just separate words, almost spelled, written together, almost at random. At least the principles for putting them together are not clear to me. Looks
for
like
Zake,
syntax. Yeah.
do you want to propose that the negation is a suffix to za or just is a compound?
Let's just read it as a compound. Let's treat ke as a distinct word. We can always revise it later. Maybe it'll be, yeah, let's just call it neg.
For negation. See, they have a category for this. I don't even want to.
Yeah, there's also more options.
Well, and the category is not super useful to us in the end. Do you think it's going to help us out?
It helps you sort. You can sort your lexicon by category, but beyond that, I don't know.
We'll search.
I like it for completeness, but yeah, we have maybe in the right. That's not too important.
I don't think it's going to help us out very much. Yeah, I don't think they're going to have a. Maybe they have it. I don't know where they have. It's going to be like a nominal particle. They're going to have like a nominal negation, verbal negation, something like that. And since we don't really know, yeah, I would say it's verbal negation, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it as not sure for now.
Kolea, and then we might. Yeah, let's put. It's not good.
So for here the Zake, you want to call it it's not good or it's
Yeah,
not.
not or something.
What was that? Hand was a little off on my keyboard and threw in some gibberish there.
That it's your hand, not that your brain is scrambled. Yeah.
Little
Uh,
column vague, little.
it's not pleasing. It's not good. Okay.
You want to
Keza is
you want to call ko so for now?
no strong opinions about that.
We'll just leave it then, since it's not hurting anything. We have uke twice there, zauke, and then at the end zauke again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're gonna do what za means.
The tide came back.
Oh, it might be tide. Because the
What's
tide
that?
came back and the tide killed him.
The word zake meaning tide?
Uke.
Uke. Oh, okay. Oh, is that uke? Okay. Kunju. That seems more likely for the kill part. Yeah. Very nice. The tide.
Kuju or kuju. Kuju. Kunju. Kunju.
Hard to know just from looking at it, but tide. Uke. Now we have an uke. Oh, that could just be part of a word.
See, I see how uke occurs by itself.
The uke is on paragraph 6.
I have it
It was
here.
different when he saw up high the dead branches. The fellow climbed a tree and teetered out along to take one, he thought, until bump, he hit the ground. No tide mentioned here.
Why am I not finding what you're looking for?
I've got space UK
There we
East. That's the one. There's no tide mentioned,
go. Oh,
but you see something else?
no. Um, Here we have the branches dead though.
Branch is dead.
Mina uke zana keto koi. And
The
then
dead
the
branches.
branches. So uke must be dead.
It could have that. That seems a good match for. This could be some deep connection between the negative K and this uke.
Isn't. He isn't.
Not be. Yeah.
Not he didn't, he isn't. uh I
He
think
did
uke is
was.
its own word for dead though.
Yeah, I think so too. Dead or
Um
dead. Let's call it dead here. Let's just put it in the word glass for now and approve it. Or we can create an entry. Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
let's create an entry. I'm gonna revise it later. I'm gonna say dead. Not even claiming what's a verb or what. It's just not really clear. I assume it's a dead or a
In this
verb.
family, things can go back and forth, shift between classes quite easily.
Now here we've got an interesting one in this sentence that has uke with the dead branches. Um, we have Keza. What I was looking for is, I believe we have a nake. Oh, there we have ngake right below it. So, oh, they've killed me. If we go back to paragraph 6, we can keep working on our negation with this ngake, which is third plural negative.
Huh?
That doesn't make any sense.
What's that? What are you looking at?
Because it's not they've killed me. That's the gay.
Are you looking in Flex or in the spreadsheet? I don't
On
know
the
where you're.
spreadsheet on the right. Sorry if you look where I am. I'm K Ngake Toa. I'll go find that right quick in Flex. Should be
I'll not live.
paragraph 6.
Toa.
K Ngake Toa. Now, the gay here of Vi's you. All right, so we know Vi is kill, right?
Seems unimpeachable.
Kill me.
Kill me. Gay kill. Gay vice you.
K Vi's you. K
Ga.
Ngake Toa. So,
Guy's odd. Yeah, I'd expect it in Goo maybe.
do we have any other first person? If you think that gu is the underlying form, then we would predict that, well, maybe ake is the underlying form of negation, and and it
Hmm.
We're getting a deletion with Zake, we just can't tell.
That's right. Okay, I like that. Guake, giving gake.
And this is Nguake. That's my guess. Have we
I
seen
was thinking,
Ngu anywhere else in that way? Let's search real quick.
do you want it at the beginning of a word?
There's Ngwa. Yeah, let's look for the beginning of the word. I'm
Gua.
actually just interested in all sequences of Gu. There's
All
only
right.
9 of them total.
Yep.
There's Ngwa,
Gua. Tangu.
Tangu, which was mine. Tangu,
Fine.
Tangu, Tangu. I don't. Where the heck is it in this sentence here? It is.
In the middle of Pengu,
Yeah, Penguruna, which
part
we
of a word.
know what's going on there. Penguruna. It's after the locative. Yeah, well, we'll figure that out when we get there.
We hope one of these days.
English. That's not going to help us. All right, so I do think "gu" has the first singular meaning there, and that this "gake" is "gu ake." What do you think?
Yeah, seems good to me. I like
Shall we
that
go to
hypothesis.
the lexicon and modify our A?
Let's in the spreadsheet. Let's search for ake for all those strings. Gakitor, guakitor. I'll not live. I
Gake
not
toa, we get it from take in English.
ache. Yeah,
Nake, so we
na
know that's going to be
ake.
na ake,
Yes.
but what is
Za
na?
na is that pronominal one or determiner of some kind.
It could be new, nay, anything like that. Because we
Okay.
don't know whether the a is delete which direct if ake is the underlying form, then we don't know which vowel is deleting after the n. So it says don't worry. Is that maybe you don't? We'd want it to be make, but we can't decide how the system works. There we have zake again, which we know how zake works is he didn't. That's the he didn't take them part of this sentence. He didn't. There's another zake. And the stream wasn't properly dry. It wasn't. So it zake is it wasn't, he wasn't, she wasn't. What's the ake in this sentence? Liniake, this is sweet to taste. So I'm guessing za is it, and liniake somehow means sweet to taste. Probably coming from liake with in as a infix, just guessing from Austronesian, having no idea, but I'd gloss the whole thing as there of zarake. So that's a weird one.
Seeps on the reef.
The
That could just
on the reef. Zarake might be just word for reef.
matiz.
Because we don't know what mati means. Mati means dry, as far as we can tell. But mati zarake might be, the way you think about the reef in the ocean as a landlubber might be different than somebody who lives near the reef for tens of thousands of years, or at least the last couple thousand years, as far as we can tell. So we're not making as much progress with this ake as I thought we might. We're through 14 of 17. And here we get, I'm not seeing the ake in this. Nake again.
Nakeaza, not those.
Nake Iaria. Not those either.
Wow. Big student. Fantastic.
Then finally, again with Zake. So no, we just don't really know what's going on. We could call the whole thing one decomposable first singular negative. We just don't have enough data right now to know for sure. And it's interesting because we're pretty sure Gotti is 3 plural. But what if Gotti is it? Would we ever get Gotti when there isn't a first singular object?
7 hits of for Ngadi for that string of letters, regardless of space. Ngadi Guni, they said to him, yeah, paragraph 7. Garihuni. They said it to him. They said to him is what it means, yeah. It is line 50 in the spreadsheet. Third hit. So click one more. That line there. Last two words. Garihua. Garihua.
I think Gotti just is the. I don't know what's going on with Gay and Adi combined, but I guess it is just another version of the third plural subject marker. There might be some sort of aspectual distinction we're missing.
Could be. Now in 6.3 there in Flex, the free translation says, they've killed me, but we have nge as third singular, so that can't be right. It's just third subject, it seems.
It should have never been third singular. It should have always been third plural. That was our guess, anyways. Let's look.
Let's fix it. Let's fix it in the lexicon.
Yeah, it's always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's plural. That is just a mistake.
Threeple. That's what we wanted to say.
Let's go back to our text in words. Yeah,
now,
so
back there in 6.3, we'll just need to fix the word gloss. Make it say they.
Should it not?
That doesn't update automatically. The purple stuff that's generated or that's tied to the lexicon, but the blue stuff is contextual. They kill me. And K is some exclamation. We have it as wow. Ngake. Ngaketo. I'll not live.
Oh, they've killed me. Do we have it as wow? Do you want to just create an entry or?
Right.
Look at that. It's already suggesting
no, it could be no, yeah.
No, wow. They killed me.
I kind of like ake better as the negative.
What a puzzle.
Yep, that's right.
So
well, let's get ngu ake. Yeah, that would make the most sense. Because living is pretty clearly intransitive. You can do it with the U there, but I would prefer to just keep it as a Q and then link it to a ngu.
You want me to leave it as Q here? All right, let's deal with the ake right quick. We're going to update our K. Our sake.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Just go to lexicon, bottom left. Yeah. To the K section.
It's in alphabetical order.
Yep. And you can choose which column you're alphabetizing by as well. A nice feature.
So we're going to add a allomorph. We do the same thing as last time.
Yeah, click the insert button there. And make it ake. And then second, say swap. And now your entry is ake. Once it re-alphabetizes the lexicon, it'll move.
Okay, so this is
that one. And Q, we can link it. It's an allomorph. We have ngu somewhere, I think.
We only have it as gua.
That's probably a fusion.
Oh, we have it as tangu. Do we have it as?
I think we have it as ngu. Let's see. You're right. Ngua.
We'd have to analyze tangu that way to get the meaning.
You know what? You know what would be fruitful if we look for all the English possessives, his, their, his, my, and so on. Those all seem to have two components.
That's right.
Yeah.
So here we
my, mine. We have 4 for my.
In this way, the giant dragged it out and ate it. Oh, it's giving me his for this.
Yeah. Put a space before H.
I'm trying to.
Still 4.
Hits. A honey eater with a sharp beak flew into his belly.
His belly.
Ooh.
Hard. Don't know enough words there yet.
No.
Let's go to the next bit.
I think yeah. Plus, one thing that you might know about oceanic languages is they typically have 2 types of possession.
Hmm.
One is direct possession as a suffix, another is indirect possession as like a particle. So gua is our indirect possession, and gu then for first singular from the tangu would be direct.
And you're
But
just talking about the word structure here with direct
right,
and indirect.
but the
Okay,
meaning structure is typically and it's different from each language. So
I
you've got to
see.
discover it on each language, but there's a theme, you know, one theme that I'm familiar with from Roviana is what you might call like alienable and inalienable possession. So something that's inalienably possessed kind of belongs to you in a way that can't be taken away, but an
So like,
alienable possession could be. So like my paddle, my canoe, those are alienable possessions. But my hand is inalienable. It's a part of me.
that's
Now,
right.
before you
Even if
ask,
even
yes,
it would if it were removed from you, it would still be your hand.
no, it wouldn't be. I knew you were going to say that, and believe it or not, linguists have already tested this in some languages, not all of the languages that do it, but in languages they tested, oftentimes if your hand is removed, it's no longer marked that way grammatically.
Wow.
In Roviana, there's an interesting thing where, like, your parents, your ancestors are inalienably possessed, but your children are not. You can't
Wow.
own your ancestry, but you could disown your children. And I don't know, that might be arbitrary. It might have no deeper meaning. We
Right, right.
I
You're
read
swing.
things in the language because I'm curious that maybe aren't there. So take it with a grain of salt. But I'm
Fascinating.
suspecting here that belly is iapa and na. There is the third singular possession. The good smell made the
Right.
giant forget his anger.
Suffix is possession. Yeah, yeah. That's great.
Um, we
His
aren't getting
anger. His anger. All right. Not
Almondale
tagi.
is good smell.
I bet you the tagiyiri is going to be the anger part.
Natarigiri.
Zomangalea.
Looks like it's not possessed here in Ranonga. That's just what they're putting in the translation.
Or or that Aza is a possessive marker there. We'll see. We'll see. Let's look for some more.
Azat would be an okay. His feet.
Ariza Punja. Oh, I bet Punja is feet. Oh, we just have it in the one line.
Yeah, well, we got Punja for feet, and then probably Punja for stand up.
Standers. Bay.
Well, in Portuguese, they say like "fica no pé," stay on your feet, or become on your feet.
Nice. Oh, it makes sense. The old Latin verb stand has become to be.
Very
That's
nice.
so does that estar.
There you go.
So you need a new expression for stand once that sort of a shift takes place.
So we get
We're getting pretty far afield. Let's keep searching for for possessions. I think this is a really fruitful path though.
well. That's all we've got in English.
Let's go with we don't have any female. Let's go with there.
You get two. They're still grilling their food as the Gandhi. Pretty sure
D.
about that.
Okay. Their food is going to be hindi.
Gandhi again.
Let's
So
that one.
the D, I'm guessing, is like the na, but for third plural. So that's our suffix there. So that's why we get um let's look a search for D right quick. We'll see it. We got pollen D,
At us. Well, do you want it all anywhere in the word or with at the end of the word? D
end of the
suffix.
word. Space after.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, you could get punctuation after it too, but 5 hits is not bad.
Geligendi,
For
so we
their
know that's
crabs.
their food. Well, so that's part of the reason we know, yeah. What does it look for their crabs? Tamatazi is brothers, right? Actually, maybe don't have crab in that one. And ate it. Caning D. Now we've got Caney in other situations too. So there we've got D acting as a little suffix, even though I don't believe we know what Canane
Oh, Canindi. What does that one mean?
Caney.
Canindi. Yeah. Oh, it's DI.
The problem is
DI.
we don't know what Caney means yet. We're getting Caney in various places. We don't know.
Dragged it out. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and update ngake as one singular.
Yeah, let's not use the those grammatical abbreviations in the word gloss. So let's say I not, I won't, or something.
I'm going to
I,
say I not, even though that's not very grammatical. But it will make it more clear if we get it in other, because we don't know if this is really, it could be having some future or incompleted aspect, and we just don't know because we only have a single example. So I'm
Yep.
going to leave it. Here we go. Uka uka. So much confusing stuff. Very exciting.
Mm-hmm. A lot for us to do. That's job security if this were our actual job.
All right, if
Corrapa.
you go to paragraph 7, we get Corapa Paro Parago Gaindi. And we have actually, it looks like, spliced off Gaindi here.
Let's treat it as a word. There.
Let's do that.
So there's here, and that corapa that might be connected to that pa we were wondering about. It's probably the word for still, that part of the sentence.
I believe it's the word for still. So that's what we should do. We already have it.
It's just the
Oh,
upper
we never
upper.
created an entry. We just created a head word.
Just give it a nudge. Go. Yeah, there we go. Still open fire. There's still like grilling.
Their food.
There's yeah. Still open. How elegant and concise.
I'm gonna call this their food.
Their food.
And
Let's give it a dot in between there.
that's why I was proposing it had two parts, and the D was the third plural possessive and negate, because we get that except for the one where we get metathesis in for singular my food,
Gegu for Gengu. Okay.
which might be that Flex isn't 100% good at handling.
Well, what we can do is have the morphemes line diverge from the baseline. But yeah, I'm not sure the best way that Flex should do that. Okay, food. Oh, Rani and some some connection there. Edibles, good.
Alternate way to do it would be to call the gay part
Uh-huh.
edible or food.
Good. That's
And
great.
then D would be our third person plural possessive.
Matching with that dia quite well.
That's right. So gu, gua, di, dia. It is a nice system. We like
Yep.
it. So there's a connection between the free floating one and the one that attaches. And we've seen D attached to more than one thing because we've got pollen D as well. And kenine D. We get Kenny by itself. I'm having a very hard time pronouncing kenine D. But that's what I'm looking for. Keni with D after it. We get it sometimes. We don't get it sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and call this. Look, it even suggests 3PL. I don't know why I pointed because the way my camera's set up, it looked all. We have dia there as a suffix already.
Yeah.
But it's doing
Nice.
something different than this.
Yeah.
I'm going to call this 3PL possessive.
You want to say it attaches to a noun?
No.
Okay.
We've seen it attached to verbs too.
True.
We don't know. We really don't know what's going on. I think probably Yandi in the mind of the speaker is one word, I would assume. But we're breaking it down for our benefit. I'm going to call this whole yay thing edible.
I hadn't created it yet. Yeah.
And what I'm going to call it, the whole word gloss is their food.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to improve throughout?
Go for it. Yeah, I think we just have like the two occurrences. Oh no, there's 4 hits.
Yeah,
And then if it's wrong, that will teach us something.
that did some work for us. I don't think it's going to be wrong. I feel pretty confident about that.
Indeed, their food, yeah. Cooking, middle of cooking the food, yeah. And it's always third plural. It's never my food. Okay.
Hey,
Cool.
I'm gonna.
Gani. They were eating.
This is an interesting sentence. Then we're gonna have Palindi. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me go back to analyze. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this off. We don't even know what the verb is. If it's a verb, we literally don't know.
Palindi. Asking them. Until nothing was left. Wow.
So finish, tugu,
Do looks like it has a perfective in it.
Yeah.
To me, ooh,
I would
and
like to figure out his Gani
food,
Gani.
asking them to give. Now the giving one, what was our verb give? There could be more than one, of
We got it.
course.
Gani right there. We already
Funny,
glossed that.
yeah.
We figured out give.
Okay, good.
What we need is Tepa, Tugu, Ba, and Gani Gani. I have a great guess for Gani Gani. How about you?
To be eating.
I'm going to call it eating. What do you think? So
Yep.
we already got Gani. We're duplicating it. We've seen Paro
Good.
Paro use this way. We're going to
Could be
call it eating.
approve. Okay, yep. They eating.
I think I have a guess for Ba. What about you?
Oh, mba. Well, it reminds me of beto, which occurs all over the place.
Let's search for Ba in our text, and I'm going to search for it by itself.
Ba itself, good. 6 hits. Wow.
Okay, so we'll go up to the first one. So he went to look for them and chose them. Says that,
Giovanni.
but
Beto.
he didn't take Bazake Pekuria. All right, so we get a Ba there. That fellow till he saw some possums on the branch in the tree with the small holes in the trunk, but he didn't take any.
Ba. Okay.
Let's see.
I'm feeling that this could have some connection to the prepositional pa. That the sound will be mba. It'll be prenasalized.
Ba. So here we get it again. They ate their food, but the giant was asking. So we've got but in 2 or 3 translations so far, plus the one we're looking at. So that's 3 out of 4. You get but in it, the conjunction. Where we took the fish, you will see holes there by the edge of the stream. Don't worry about them. And before don't worry about them, they have ba.
Don't.
It would be
Adversity.
extremely grammatical in English to say, but don't worry about them. But he didn't take them. I have a pretty good guess on ba now. Let's look at this last example.
Uh-huh.
Zabuku bazake. So it's right before the negation. He drank and drank the stream,
But
but the stream wasn't properly dry.
properly dry.
How confident are you that it's but? The conjunction.
Fantastic. Yep, seems really good.
This one I'm actually going to go in and find the conjunction word. Connective. I think it's a coordinated conjunctive.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so too. I'd be surprised.
I don't want to make any more claims than that. I don't want to say it's correlative or not. So, dear reader,
can you just call it connective? Just click that one
I'm
folder.
Just call it just a connective. That's right.
Yeah, we don't have to get any more specific than that at this point, especially because the categories aren't our main concern.
Yeah.
Now, can you do in the spreadsheet search for the string PALE?
Ale.
4 hits. All right, we got Palendi Turu till there was nothing left in that first hit, or number 2 as it is.
Let's go up to 1 right quick and look at that. Oh, again, Palendi. In this one, look how
they spell it with. Yeah. So it's good evidence that D is. I mean, you can determine. Seems like a good evidence because we don't think that's a closed syllable.
No. I think that
it means nothing left.
Look, I would be shocked if there was an Austronesian language in the Western Solomons that didn't have prenasalized voice stops. So this confirms it for us based on spelling. I have seen this one in spelling Roviana people use on Facebook where they'll insert an N in front of D or something like that in English words. So the English word barracuda is pronounced barracunda.
Barracunda, of course.
All right. So there we've got Pale once.
Nothing left. And 2, nothing. So, and then Pale Toriloi. So here it made the giant forget his anger. His anger was all gone.
I think Pale is some sort of all gone. That's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
We don't.
And then ashes.
He scratches ashes. That is good food.
For more. Yeah.
And right before it, we have finish. All gone.
Food, finish, all gone. Zakaza is Zaka, maybe ashes. Dugu is there again. Okay. But I think we can.
Lao is ashes and Zakaza is he scratches.
Many possibilities. Let's pin that down. So if you, dear viewer, enjoy puzzles at all, you might you might like this kind of work on an unknown language, a language unknown to you, working from a bilingual text. It's really, really fun and fulfilling to fill in all the missing pieces.
It's extremely satisfying. It's
Especially
fascinating.
language,
Um,
particularly because there's so many levels to it.
yes, it's uh, obviously for Tyler and I, this is a lifelong obsession, perhaps an ailment because it will keep you impoverished. But
We haven't made it rich yet, but we're still young.
I have a wealth of thinking about language. So, all right. You said we're still young?
Getting older by the second.
Dear viewer,
Uh,
if you are a speaker of an indigenous language in the Solomon Islands and you think we're making money doing this, Tyler is joking. We do not get any sort of material benefit from doing this. Quite the opposite. We could
that's fine.
spend this time working, making money, learning to code, whatever, but instead we do this thing because we're passionate about it. And
That's
speaking for myself, I want to help. I am doing this because I hope that at the end of this, I will create something useful for the Kumbokota community and that they will want it. And if they were to send me a message, all the elders in the community, and say, stop studying language, I would stop. I would. I don't. In my experience in Solomon Islands, I've never met somebody who's been mad at me for studying their language. Typically, they've been very excited. My experience was, particularly in Roviana, not that you might think, oh, people are going to be shocked that you study Roviana. That was not the experience I got. They're like, well, of course you should study Roviana. It's a great language.
mm-hmm.
And I was met with a lot of pride. Whereas when I went to Japan, people were often, why are you bothering to study Japanese? And I said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just keep studying languages. So, all right, let's see if we can solve a couple more words because we got about
let's get
50.
let's get Pale and Flex. I think we have a pretty good understanding of it, and it's right there. Yeah, the bottom
What are
line.
we going to call this all done?
Uh,
I would call acabou in Portuguese, but I don't know acaba. It's the
we could
root
use a
verb.
Portuguese gloss. It's fine with me.
No, no, no.
Uh,
Let's not do that. What if somebody needs to
just
use
say right. Let's say all gone or something,
all done, like what the child says?
something like that.
And
Uh,
we don't have quite the right verb for it in English.
we could let's say dissipate maybe.
Let's go with all done. I just
All right.
all dot done.
Yep.
The point of this is to make it very readable.
Well, yeah. We'll get a feel for
Now
the
this
word. Yeah.
looks like a possessed thing. All done because we've already said this is possessive. But um, let me
But it's not the
entertain me for a second. I want to show you Dia. We get Dia
way.
once, colon Dia, and there were three youths. Now this time I said Dia was three plural possessive because we know cole means exist. This kind of looks like subject agreement, wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you
Colendia? Are you talking about Palendi or Colendia?
Colon Dia right now. Kind of looks like
Like
subject.
subject? Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I do think it does.
I think it's
Um,
but been wrong before.
and it's pretty strange because we've been getting subject agreement as particles before the verb the whole time. And we've
That's
been
right.
getting exclusively objects after the verb. Here we have this one weird trick that doctors hate, meaning me, a doctor of language who hates it, is that suddenly now we get subject agreement where we should get object agreement, but note the form is different. We were getting ria for them. Now we're getting dia for the subject. So a way to make this seem coherent to me is that this is actually a kind of nominalization.
Yes, seems
Like
noun like.
you can say the sentence John eats the cake or John ate the cake or John is eating the cake. Something like this. These are all sentences. But as soon as I can make it, I can use a possessive to make the whole thing a noun phrase, which would be John's eating the cake. So John's eating the cake bothered me, for example. Now John's
Mhm.
eating the cake is the subject, the stimulus for the experiencer, which is me. So I think something like that is going on here. And are D and dia, the suffix is the same? I got my hands up because I don't know. So, but for now, I'll leave it. We'll leave it as all done. We get yet another Tugu.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, just looking up
So
that. Well, let's get the other instances of Pale here in Flex because why not? Seems like a cool
how do we find those?
table meaning. Well, there is the possibility to do a search for the baseline. And how did you do that? Used to do it a lot, but I kind of forget where that was. We could use our spreadsheet to do the search.
Yeah. And we could
Find
probably
the graph.
find it in the lexicon and it would.
Well, it has to be identified for the lexicon to know it. Let's see,
Hey,
bulk
how come
add.
this one isn't recognizing pa as a locative? Did we never put that in?
We haven't created it yet.
Let's do that. I'm just going to call it
Oh,
capital LOC. What do you think?
all right. Loco. All right, works.
Shall we call it a preposition?
Go for it. Let's add a new. Right, gotta look for more. A new category to our arsenal. Will it be under add position or something?
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
the.
add position right up there.
So some languages, dear viewer or listener, will put the position marking thing before a phrase, like English in and of and so on. Others will put it after. And some really cool languages, really hip ones, will put it on either end, which German does.
The trend
Have
is that
both
it's a.
and post positions.
Sorry, Tyler, didn't mean to interrupt.
Let me finish the thought. Yeah, you can have both prepositions and post positions, and the super category that embraces both is called add position.
And actually, the German example is really good because there's a trend typologically that if objects come after the verb in a basic sentence, then prepositions, the add position, will come before the noun. However, if the object comes before the verb in basic sentences, then the add position will come after the noun, called a postposition. Now, what we know about German and English is that they used to be subject, object, verb, and then became subject, verb, object. Or this is a possibility.
We're pretty sure it looks likely. Yeah,
Yeah, so it makes sense that in German you've got a bit of both because German still has more SOV than English does.
definitely true.
So German has SOV, subject, object, verb, word order in relative clauses. Now, I don't speak German. Tyler's actually a German teacher and a native speaker, so I shouldn't be talking this much, but just to make the point on typology. Is that
I will.
correct? You learned it as
I
a
will.
child?
From the age of 10.
So if not native,
Neither.
you're native.
That's right. You might think you might be under the impression that English preserves no traces of OV order, where object precedes the verb. But let me submit to you, with this ring, I thee wed.
What?
The means you singular. That's the object precedes the verb.
So here we've got nake. We've got to make up our minds here. What's going on with this?
Na ake. It's some determiner or pronoun and the negative. Don't worry about them.
Is it you don't? Because it's a.
Oh, actually, no. That negation might be in the word munake. You will see holes there by the edge of the stream. Don't worry about them. So why
Ooh. Ooh, Munake. Oh
mu
my
has
goodness, Tyler.
the you part, right? You them not worry.
Mm.
You agree? You them not worry them or something. Worry
So the
it.
na is them.
Seems like it to me.
We've got Pavuni. We don't know what Pavu is, but ni is probably to them, to it, ni.
The only occurrence of Pavo is that particular sentence.
Well,
Oh, we have. Go ahead.
I hate to leave it on such a cliffhanger, but I think that we've solved what we can solve today, and we're going to have to put the next. So this is the seventh installation of Ganonga videos. We're going to have to put. We're going to have to solve the Mu business because here we've got Muna,
Yep.
which
I
we
was just
think
saying.
is potentially two singular future or something. And this is confusing because we always know Ramu is two plural, right? But maybe what happened in Ganonga is what happened in English, where we use the you plural until you plural becomes you singular. In any case, I think that we're going to have to cut short our session today. Well, we did an hour and a half.
Okay. Did you end it?
It's not ended yet. Do you have one more thing?
Okay, good. All right. I'm finding down here, and I may have an error. I think I found the word for edge,
Okay, what is it?
keketaina or keketai, and
Kikitai,
I
and then
believe
na is like the suffix there.
I'm misspelling in one of my occurrences. So
I'm gonna go
page
ahead and
eight.
create one for na too, since we're seeing this everywhere. Na, the suffix is three singular dot possessive. We're seeing this all over the place.
Ketetaina. All right, we may have found our first error or just alternation with K and T. Keketai would be the word for border. And then we have a form ketetai, also meaning edge, which reminds us of what goes on in Hawaiian.
Kikitai, kikitai, kikitai. You
Could
know,
just
I say we leave it for now, but I think that what's going on is an orangutan situation.
mm-hmm.
Languages have certain pressures to have a harmony, let's say, of certain types of sounds. And
Features.
especially when there's no meaningful difference between, say, KK and KT, there might be harmony reasons for it.
Yeah,
In
but it
any
treated as
case,
variants in our project.
those are some cliffhangers for future episodes, dear viewer. And for now, I bid you adieu. Ciao.